Welcome to the Dread Expanse, where the crazy concepts, theories, and speculation about World of Warcraft come to thrive. Here, the Quack be king. Who be the Quack? I be the Quack. Why be Quack? Because I am a Quack. Today we're going to be talking about Sporemound theory, going from what it is to the proof that supports it and the damning implications it has for the heroes of Azeroth and what they may face in the future. What is Sporemound theory? Question mark? Sporemound theory is basically the theory that the old gods are void corrupted plants, or more specifically, corrupted plant creatures that most likely lived in water and were fused with their ecosystem. I know, it's more quack than the usual theory, but if you hold out to the end of this part, and the series as a whole, I swear you'll never unsee this theory again. Part 1. Dark Masters. Before we dive into the Old Gods, an explanation about the Void Lords and their relation to the Old Gods is needed. The long and short of it being, the Void Lords are officially the creators of the Old Gods. However, the existence of the Void Lords in the first place is contested. So, hopefully the explanations, extracts, and examples shown in Part 1 will illustrate why the Void Lords exist, whilst also explaining in part why and how the Void Lords created the Old Gods. Let's begin, shall we? The Void Lords, the big evils in the World of Warcraft universe. To avoid the relative to other points fluff, these extracts from Chronicle Volume 1 pretty much sum up the Void Lords. Extract. The Void Lords are monstrous entities composed of pure shadow energy. These beings are cruel and merciless beyond comprehension. Driven by an insatiable hunger, the Void Lords seek to devour all matter and energy in the physical universe. In their natural state, the Void Lords exist outside reality. Only the most powerful of these entities can manifest in the physical universe, and only for limited amounts of time. To maintain their presence in reality, the Void Lords must consume untold amounts of energy. Extract. From the moment the cosmos came to be, dark spirits within the Void sought to twist reality into a realm of eternal torment. These entities were known as the Void Lords. I hope that got the point across. They are the big evils, the true end-time bosses. As I can imagine, some of you have noticed, there is an inconsistency between the descriptions of the Void Lords. They are called entities and dark spirits. At the end of the day, that distinction is of little importance. Do keep it in mind, though, that they are called dark spirits. These dark spirits are also Void Lords, the two-word variant, not Void Lords, the one-word variant, and the creatures that have turned up in WoW so far, similar to the Warlock pet. I know it's a technicality, but relevance of words and their definitions is one of the most important things in theory crafting. I tell you now, there is a difference between the two. The other elephant in the room I need to address now is these extracts describe the Void Lords, not the Void. The Void is described like this. Extract. Light and shadow are the most fundamental forces in existence. Although contradictory by their very nature, they are bound together on a cosmic scale. One cannot exist without the other. Pure light and shadow dwell in a realm outside the borders of reality, but shades of their presence are found in the physical universe. Light manifests as holy magic, while shadow, also referred to as the Void, appears as shadow magic. The difference in my little head is twofold. The Void is a fundamental force of existence. The Void Lords are entities within existence, or more precisely, dark spirits within existence. I hope that cleared up a few things. A major reason why the Void and the Void Lords are seen as the same is due to the nature of the Void, that nature being the opposite of the light. The light's nature being described as bringing hope, courage, and comfort, while the Void is described as bringing despair, doubt, and panic, where positive emotions are obvious to see between the two. I hope you understand that both can lead down a very dark path. However, away from the philosophy, I hope you noticed benevolence and malevolence have not been attributed to either cosmic force. They are just described as existing in certain emotional states. So, with the Void Lords being described as cruel, merciless, monstrous, and dark, evil, malevolent, it is clear these traits are attributed to entities within the cosmos, not the forces that make up the cosmos. The last thing I wish to mention about the Void Lords is their stated purpose, the reasons for doing everything. That is described in this extract. Extract. From the moment the cosmos came to be, dark spirits within the void sought to twist reality into a realm of eternal torment. These entities were known as the Void Lords, and they had long watched the Pantheon and their journey from world to world. Envious of their power, the Void Lords sought to corrupt one of the world-shaping titans into an instrument of their will. Now, with some of the dreary stuff out of the way, on to the old gods. Sihun, Yogg-Saron, Yasharaj, Nazoth, and that thing sitting on the border of one of the pages into Chronicles Volume 3. What are they? Well, other than being the main characters of a hentai in World of Warcraft, the official chronicle description of the old gods is... Extract. The old gods are physical manifestations of the void. They are nightmares incarnate, mountains of blighted flesh and writhing tentacles that grow like cancer within the worlds of the Great Dark. These malignant entities serve the Void Lords, and they live only to transform the worlds they infest into places of despair and death. It was supposed to be an easy description. I hoped, I was wrong. If only Chronicle was that nice. Oh well, on to the explanation. Manifestation. First, meaning. Object that clearly shows or embodies something abstract or theoretical. This would make the old gods creatures of the void. Physical manifestations of the void. This is the view that I held, and many do to this day. There's just one problem. Envious of their power, the Void Lords sought to corrupt one of the world-shaping titans into an instrument of their will. For those who don't know, one of the stages in the titan's world-shaping, or ordering, is seeding life. If the Void Lords were in fact envious of the titan's power, then they, and the creatures of the void like them, cannot create life. As nasty as the old gods are, they are still alive. They are incredibly hard to kill, and they may exist outside the cycle. However, they are alive. So, Ear Chronicle has contradicted itself in no less than 7 pages. The old gods are not creations of the void. Also, remember that extract from earlier? The one about what the Void Lords were? Well, just to remind you of the parts that are relevant to this subject. Only the most powerful of these entities can manifest in the physical universe, and only for a limited amount of time. To maintain their presence in reality, the Void Lords must consume untold amounts of matter and energy. Now, if you can barely manifest yourself in the physical universe, it is highly doubtful you can manifest new life in the physical universe. That's not mentioning the fact if the old gods were creations from the void, they would have consumed Azeroth or been starved out of existence by now. An untold amount of time on Azeroth, and or 16,000+ years worth of imprisonment, either would have happened by now. Manifestation, second meaning, a symptom of an ailment. This does make the old gods the physical manifestation of the void, but instead opens up the possibility that something may be sick with the void, and not of the void itself. Ever considered why the word corruption is used so often? You have been infected by the flu. You have been corrupted by the flu. Corrupt is so much more entertaining, don't you think? This meaning of manifestation is also supported by this. Extract. To achieve this goal, the Void Lords struggled to manifest in the physical universe. As they did so, their energies seeped into reality, warping some of the unsuspecting denizens of creation. Yet, the noble and virtuous Titans proved impervious to their insidious corruption. Now, I'll be honest, I looked at this about 50 times before I got this. I have no life. So, if you've gotten what I'm getting at, congrats. If not, that extract I just provided is a description of how the Void Lords tried to corrupt the Titans. It's not the common interpretation, but I find the point to be valid. As their official description stated, to maintain their presence in reality, the Void Lords must consume untold amounts of matter and energy. What creature would want to live a life like that? And as pointed out earlier, by what you're probably thinking now is my favourite extract from Chronicle. Envious of their power, the Void Lords sought to corrupt one of the world-shaping Titans into an instrument of their will. An instrument, a tool to be used. A smart move, don't you think? The Void Lords can't enter the physical universe without being put to extreme conditions. So, why not get something else to exert your will? They don't care if you're wrong. Now, I know Chronicle is not everyone's cup of tea, but proof of the Void beings having problems manifesting in the physical universe also appears in-game. If you've journeyed to alternate Draenor, to the peak of the Anguish Fort, on the border of the Shadowing Valley and the Spires of Iraq, you might remember an area called the Pillars of Fate. You might also remember on this mountain you entered the Twisted Nether to fight horrors, spawns, fragments, and remnants of the Void. Once again, all interesting. However, the most interesting piece of lore on this mountain is the bubble debuff that stops you from desinking within the Twisting Nether. Reality Bubble. Flavor text. Protects the wearer from the ravages of the Twisting Nether, preventing the loss of Void attunement. Description. Pre-evening the decay of Void attunement. P.S. This is one of the few times you'll find a Blizzard making a spelling error. Unless this is a clue to a theory even I would consider convoluted. Anyway. Description. Preventing the decay of Void attunement. Void beings entering the area are affected with atrophying energy. Atrophying energy. Instant. Reduces damage done by 30% and increases damage taken by 30%. To get to the point, in a reality bubble, Void beings deal less damage and receive more. This is quite possibly just a game mechanic. However, the descriptive choice of Void beings being the only ones affected is very, very intriguing. The lore-relevant nail in the coffin, however, hammers down with the debuff effect being called atrophying energy. Atrophying something, for reference, is the act of causing something to decay. For those lore people out there, I know the Twilight's Hammer wasn't joking, but back to the main point of this specific theory. Atrophying energy apparently is something that only exists in reality or reality bubbles, and it greatly weakens Void beings. Considering this portal takes you from alternate Draenor, which seems to be in the Great Dark Beyond, it is then reasonable to assume reality can be described as the Great Dark Beyond and the ethereal realms connected to it. In turn, atrophying energy only exists in Great Dark Beyond, and the Great Dark Beyond somehow weakens Void beings. So, even if the Void Lords could fully manifest in the universe, why would they want to? If they're just going to be in a weakened state, why not corrupt something that's powerful in the universe, and have it be your puppet? For reference, the Twisting Nether does not count when it comes to the realms attached to the Great Dark Beyond. The Nether is described as an astral dimension, something different from an ethereal realm, and if a reality bubble can exist in the Nether, then it's not a part of reality. So, that was part 1. Are the Void Lords entities of the Void? Yes. Why did the Void Lords create the old gods? Because the physical universe is the place that weakens the Void Lords. How did the Void Lords create the old gods? By exposing whatever the old gods were originally, to void energies, with the result being the old gods we know today. Whenever Part 2 releases, we'll continue from here and dive into the truly interesting stuff, the connections between the old gods and Sporemounds. Until next time, however, like me please, he's a monster! Hit the bell to be notified and leave a comment, or better yet, come join us in the Shinies and Luckydos Discord. Theory crafting and speculation only gets done through community and discussion. And if you haven't been able to tell, I have a community in my head. They're not a very cheery bunch. The link to Discord will be down below. Have a nice day.